Think about being on top of a mountain and seeing a huge canvas of secrets spread out in front of you. That's Africa for you. A mysterious place where every scene whispers secrets that beg you to find out more. From old bones that make us question what it means to be human to maze-like caves and dangerously alluring underwater worlds, we're about to dive right into some of Africa's most exciting mysteries. For a moment, picture yourself as Indiana Jones, but without the hat and whip. Your most recent adventure isn't a search for a golden idol, but for something much harder to find, but much more valuable. Hints about our own past. You're slowly making your way through a maze of narrow caves. With each turn, you go deeper into the earth. It feels like you're traveling through both space and time. Your heart is racing with excitement, and yes, fear. The air is thick, like breathing through a wet cloth, and the cave walls feel like the ribcage of a huge animal that has been dead for a long time. The deeper you go into the cave, the more it feels like a vault that has been locked for thousands of years and is protective of its secrets. You wonder if the prize that lies ahead is worth the trouble of this underground obstacle course. Then you see it, a box full of bones, but not those of dragons or other magical creatures. The bones belong to a completely new species of human ancestor called Homo naledi. Their heads are smaller, about the size of an orange, but they are shaped in a way that makes us think of a world of thoughts and dreams we can't even begin to understand. Their hands, which are like highly tuned instruments, show skills beyond just staying alive. These skills could be in the areas of art, spirituality, or even love. Finding this other world, which was right here on Earth, but had different rules, is like finding an alternative universe. People are still arguing about how old these strange bones are. Are they a cousin you haven't seen in a long time, a direct relative, or someone else? This question that won't go away adds to the mystery, like a twist in a movie that you can't put down. Because of this, you are now in the Rising Star Cave system in South Africa, where science and magic meet, as well as the past and the present. You have found something that could change the way we learn in school, and even what it means to be human. The finding of Homo naledi is a sobering reminder that some stories take millions of years to develop. We live in a world where news is updated all the time and social media trends come and go. You, the lucky explorer, are one of the few people who have seen this amazing old story. You should tell everyone about it, right? Think about the Garden of Eden. Now put that paradise underwater and add shades of blue and green to it. This amazing underwater paradise is the blue hole in Egypt's Red Sea. It's a natural wonder that draws in divers and people who love to take risks. It looks like Mother Nature carved this strange swimming pool, complete with a deep end that drops you into the darkness. Here, bright fish swim around coral castles, making an underwater patchwork that looks and feels so strange it's like a dream. But like the fruit that was banned in the Bible, the blue hole is a dangerous temptation. As you dive more than 100 meters into this underwater paradise, you quickly understand how dangerous it is. Even more than being deep, it's a tunnel filled with water that makes you feel like you're being pulled to the center, and it starts to get harder to tell the difference between truth and hallucination in this deep, dangerous place. The story of Yuri Lipsky, a diver whose last moments were caught on film, should serve as a warning. It was like the beauty drew him in like a mermaid, but it quickly turned into a nightmare. Being too sure of yourself can kill you, and the blue hole is very strict about teaching its lessons. Like a mysterious picture that pulls you in more and more until you become a part of its sad story. The blue hole is a great example of nature's paradox. It's a beautiful sight that hides a dangerous one. It's a beautiful, almost spiritual experience for thrill seekers who are ready to dance on the edge, but it demands complete respect. If you're thinking about going to this underwater wonder, take a moment to think about its two sides. Are you ready to flirt with this underwater paradise's alluring danger? You know that the banned fruit has both highs and lows that can kill you. Will you take a bite? You can choose, but keep this in mind. Some fruits, when eaten, reveal truths so deep that they change the way you see the world, and others have effects that are too frightening to forget. Imagine discovering a black and white image only to discover that it is actually a living, or more accurately, unliving landscape that time and nature have carved. Hello, and welcome to Dead Vlei in the middle of the Namib Desert. This is a scary scene with colors that don't seem to belong to life and energy. This place looks like a scary graveyard full of 900-year-old trees, their skeletons black from years of being in the harsh sun. You might as well be in a Grimm's fairy tale because nature has made it look so real. The air is thick with a harsh, morbid beauty. This once thriving forest is now only a shadow of what it used to be because tall sand dunes cut it off from the water that gave it life. It's like a ghost story set in the harshest settings. The dry branches reach up like bony fingers, as if they're trying to dig their way out of the dry clay pan where they're planted. Think of a forest that has been through the end of the world and is now fixed in a state of decaying grace. If you think of it as nature's Pompeii instead of ash, these trees are preserved by the dry climate, which makes them live on even after they die. Photographers, filmmakers, and explorers from all over the world have been drawn to Dead Vlei, even though it has a sad mood. The trees that are only partially visible against the bright white clay create an alien contrast that is both captivating and unsettling. If you ever want to go on a trip that will both scare you and make you feel deeply moved, you should think about going to Dead Vlei. It takes you to a different world where life and death dance together in a disturbing one-color way. As you stand among these ancient guardians and think about how time moves forward, you might start to wonder what it means to be truly living or stuck in a single moment forever. Do you remember the coloring books you had as a child that had crazy animals in them, like dragons, horses, and dinosaurs from another world? However, the Emberasaurus Rothi brings that fantasy to life. This isn't something made up by someone, it's real. This interesting dinosaur was found in the wilds of Zimbabwe. It takes you back in time to Africa's past when things were rich and colorful. Imagine a dinosaur about the size of a big dog, but instead of running after a ball, it has an amazingly long neck that helps it reach leaves on high trees that are hard to get to. Your family pet got a new one, an ancient one that would look better in the land before time than in your living room. The Emberasaurus Rothi isn't just any old dinosaur. It's a key piece in a long-lost part of Africa's ancient history. Picture it grazing in a rich Mesozoic savanna. Its thin body would sway as it walked along, looking for the best plants to eat. This animal is more than just a species. It's a key to knowing what Africa was like 230 million years ago, when it was full of life as varied as a child's crayon box. So the next time you look through an old coloring book and are amazed by the creatures you colored as a child, remember that real life can be just as amazing as your imagination. Dinosaurs like Emberasaurus Rothi used to live in Africa. Who knows what other interesting creatures are still out there waiting to be found? Africa isn't just a region. It's a big story that keeps changing and making us think about how the world works. Africa is always showing us new things. It changes the way we think about how humans evolved and has landscapes that look like they belong in a surrealist picture. Are you ready for more exciting mysteries? Please subscribe to our channel, let us know what you thought was most interesting, and share this journey with other explorers. We promise you won't want to miss the next part. So, are you ready to learn more about these amazing things in Africa?